Meantime, as you know, Christine Holgate has appeared on this network tonight. We'll have a chat about what she had to say to Peter Credlin. But as you know, Anthony Albanese, well, he's a little each way on this issue, but does that surprise you? We call him each way Albo for a reason. Perhaps this is the reason why just 50% of Labor Party voters believe he is their preferred Prime Minister, according to the very left-leaning Essential poll published in the Turnbull Times. Now remember, this is what he said when everyone was annoyed at Christine Holgate.
How is it that on his watch, in the middle of the worst recession in almost a century, with 1 million Australians unemployed, businesses collapsing and $1 trillion of Liberal debt, this government is taking no action against the Liberal-appointed Australia Post Board? Perfectly reasonable that Christine Holgate be accountable for her actions that Labor opposed, that only got exposed because of Labor asking questions in question time. I think it's perfectly reasonable that Christine Holgate resign.
But guess what? Now that she has been reinvented as a suffragette, this was each way Albo who demanded her sacking.
Scott Morrison's comments in Parliament made that position untenable. Scott Morrison effectively sacked Christine Holgate on the floor of Parliament during question time in response to a question from me that was about the Australia Post Board. Didn't mention Christine Holgate. He effectively sacked Christine Holgate on the floor of the Parliament. After that answer, of course, how could she continue? And that was the evidence that was given.
You can't make it up. Literally, she should resign. I never said she should resign. Each way Albo. Imagine that bloke running the country. Fingers crossed it won't be happening anytime soon, no matter what the cesspit of Twitter would like to tell us. And then there's, of course, the way that the media covered it way back then. This is how it played out on Channel 7 and Channel 9 when she was not a suffragette. Instead, she just spent a lot of money on something weird.
For Australia Post CEO Christine Holgate, the clock is ticking.
They got watches.
Not just any watches.
After more than a week of clinging on, tonight the Australia Post boss has fallen on her sword. Christine Holgate has admitted that gifting $20,000 of luxury watches to senior executives didn't pass the pub test.
It follows revelations that Ms Holgate had spent $300,000 on chauffeurs and other corporate credit card purchases, and Australia Post had spent more than $700,000 over 2 years on indoor plants, while postal deliveries have been cut to every second day. The mail on her future now isn't good.
I appreciate the optics of the gifts involved do not pass the pub test for many. I have made this difficult decision to leave to enable Australia Post to be able to fully focus on delivering for our customers.
So, she was a devil in terms of the media, so much so that Labor said she should resign, but then, of course, we never really said that she should resign. And then, of course, she decided to do what she did yesterday in Canberra. Think of it what you will, but yes, all in white, and the suffragette movement was all in, and it was all about bullying of this evil male Prime Minister who apparently does bad photo ops in relation to the handwives. I'm just trying to keep up with whatever the BS narrative is here. So how did the media treat Christine Holgate now? Well, of course, she is a battering ram to go after the government. So Christine Holgate targeting Australia Post chairman Scott Morrison and the patriarchy is how it ran in the Turnbull Times. Wonder if they got those marching orders over lunch, where Gladys Berejiklian was also last weekend at the Ghost's house. And then over in the Channel 9 papers, this was their take. Once suicidal, Christine Holgate re-emerges to damn powerful men. As I say, she was on with Peter Credlin a bit earlier tonight.
The real issue is they unlawfully stood me down. I've given them now an SC opinion. You know, a very senior guy, Ingmar Taylor. They just ignore it. They can't ignore it. They repudiated my contract. Even yesterday at the Senate, the chairman said he was instructed to stand me down by Paul Fletcher. He just avoids that.
I look forward to talking about it in a few moments, among others, with Stephen Conroy, who's the former Communications Minister, who is not on the bandwagon with Christine Holgate at the moment.